Hello and welcome back to day 5, the final day of the Kickstart challenge. Well done, and thank you so much for being here and dedicating this time to yourself and to your jewelry business. Not everybody does this, so well done. I am very impressed and excited that we get to move forward. And I think if you've made it this far, then hopefully you've made some really good progress in your vision setting, in your goals, those action plans, those weekly routines, and it can feel a little overwhelming sometimes to plan out a year in advance. So if you do have some of those feelings come up, don't worry. Just sit with them. They will pass. And it's part of running a business is that there are feelings involved as well. Sometimes it can bring up anxiety, excitement, joy as well, hopefully. So we'll take the good ones and they'll help propel us forwards, but also take some time when you need to just meditate, decompress, go for a walk, whatever it is you need that kind of brings the yin and the yang, because we're building up a lot of excitement, we're building up a lot of anticipation often when we're doing goal setting and vision setting, which I love and it's a great part of it. But I also feel like it's important to be grounded at the same time so that we can really feel good in our businesses. So hopefully you feel good about the vision that you've set for yourself. You're feeling good about the goals and the things that you've put in place. And you've got a bit of an idea about what the action plan is and how you can start building that into the weekly routine, which can start next week. Or today, why not? So they are all things that I'm excited about for you guys. But today I wanted to talk a little bit about money and how we can bring money into the business, because this is something that can bring up a lot of fear for people. It's okay, I want to build this business. I love the things that I've kind of put into motion. But what about income? I need to be able to make some income. I need to be able to prove to myself that this business is going to make money, and I need to sustain myself. So it's sustainable. When I use the word sustainable, I mean it in a few ways, but one of the ways is financially sustainable, because it's probably the biggest thing that gets in the way of people following their dreams in terms of running a jewelry business. People who want to, is they say, well, I'd love to do that, but it hasn't made the money in time that I need to. So first of all, and I share this a lot, is that I just wanted to say that it is very normal that it can take a number of years to build a profitable business in any sector. And in jewelry, it's no different. So generally speaking, it takes at least 3 years to build a profitable business. So if you are new, I say that not to discourage you, but to encourage you, in fact, and say, okay, we might need some other income for the first few years. I know that I was a part-time nanny at the same time as building my jewelry business, because it was something that I felt comfortable in, something that I could do alongside it. And I did that 3 days a week and built my business a couple of days a week. And I think it can be very wise to have other income to begin with, because jewelry is a trust-based purchase and trust takes time to build. So whilst we start building these online communities and offline communities and connections with different people who will become our customers in the long run, we don't want to put too much pressure on them or ourselves that we need to sell straight away. Having said that, it's important to start practicing selling in your jewelry business from the beginning. So every quarter, and I really like to work in quarters because it's a really manageable chunk of time in a year that you can get something juicy done, but it's not too long to be, again, overwhelming. So every quarter, I recommend putting in place what I call a revenue generating activity. So a revenue generating activity is something that the key goal is to bring money into your business. So this could be a selling event like a craft fair or a show. It could be an online launch of some sort. It could be an email marketing campaign. It could be a social media marketing campaign. It could be sending direct messages to people. There's so many different types of revenue generating activities. And inside the Jewelry Business Academy, we actually have a huge list of them that's a few pages long, just to give some examples of what a revenue generating activity might look like. But whatever ones you choose, I recommend picking one per quarter and just going for them. So you might say, okay, in quarter one, we've got Valentine's Day coming up, and I'm going to do a little offer. I'm going to sell, for 1 week before Valentine's or around that sort of time, I'm going to sell my pieces. And if someone buys them, they're going to get, I don't know, like a heart-shaped box for it to go in, like a nice wooden, something that costs costs some money, so it feels like they're really getting some value, and it's saying, okay, this isn't something I usually do, but for this period, um, you'll get this special kind of freebie. Now, when it comes to freebies, our general guideline is that a freebie should cost around 10% of the cost of the actual item. So if somebody's buying a piece for you for £100, you might say, okay, you'll get this free box that's worth £10. Because it's enough that it's an incentive, but it's not so much that you're going to lose money in the business in the long run, hopefully. And we do, when we look at our pricing modules, we do build in a percentage for marketing as well, especially as the business grows, because that means that it's actually accounted for. Like in our pricing, we assume that we're going to be spending money on marketing because we are. Whether it's time or money, it's the same sort of thing. So some sort of offer, this is an example of a revenue generating activity that you could do in quarter 1, and you're going to promote it. So on Instagram each day, we're going to share about it. We're going to do some reels, some videos, some carousels. We're going to really kind of give it a good marketing push, and then it will be over. And so it's an activity. It's something that has a beginning and an end. And its goal is to bring in some revenue for the business. Now, whether it does or not, I'm not too worried about, especially initially, because you're learning. So we sometimes call these launches as well. So your first launch or your first revenue generating activity may not work because people have never seen it before. They don't know, what is this? Who is this person? What are they doing? But they will look because there's more activity going on and they'll be curious. And next time they might be like, oh, I know, I recognize this. I did actually want to get it last time and I didn't because I wasn't sure. This time maybe I will. And then the third time you do it, they'll be like, I know what this is. I'm ready. I'm here. I'm buying. So what I would encourage you to do, my task for you today, is to create 4 revenue generating activities that you are going to do throughout the year, 1 in each quarter, and write them down and be as specific as you can. We don't need to worry about them too much right now, but just putting them in, because when we want to bring in money in our business, we need to make a conscious effort to do so. I find that a lot of jewelry businesses just make jewelry and post it and just sort of hope for the best. And in the long run, that probably will work as well, but it might take quite a long time and it doesn't work for everyone. Whereas when we make a concerted effort to do some sort of campaign, some sort of marketing, like I said, it could be an event, it could be a fair, it could be going into a pop-up shop. There's all sorts of things it could be, and we share about it and we promote it for a limited period of time. What we're doing is creating a great environment for people to make a decision about making a purchase. So it may be that in your sharing, lots of people like your jewelry. And I see jewelers say this all the time. Lots of people like my stuff. Lots of people are interested in my stuff, but nobody buys from me. And I always answer with the same thing. Have you given them a reason to buy now? So in the olden days, when we used to go and buy from a jewelry shop, which still happens now, of course, you'd walk into the shop, you'd look around, and there would be a natural deadline. At some point, you will leave the shop, maybe in 10 minutes, maybe in half an hour, probably not in much longer than that. And you need to make a decision. And you either buy or you don't. Of course, you can buy later online, but generally speaking, in a shopping environment, you either choose to buy it or you don't. Online, we don't have that luxury of the deadline. People know that they can come anytime, day and night, for years. And what it does is it creates this sort of decision-making paralysis where it's hard sometimes to decide what we want. And that's where marketing comes in, because it encourages people to question, if this is going to run out, would I feel bad? Do I want it or not? Am I ready to make a purchase? Now, we don't want to be we don't want to be kind of unethical with our marketing and say things that aren't true, but we do want to create environments that make it easier for people to choose what they actually want. And generally, when people are buying handmade jewelry, it's not coerced. They definitely want it. They just perhaps need a little bit of encouragement. So this is a revenue generating activity. So like I said, I would encourage you to pick 4, 1 for each quarter, and then just give them a go. They might last a week, they might last a couple of weeks. If it's a fair, it might be for a day. I'll show you some of mine just to give you the examples again. So again, another lovely sheet to add to the Jewellery Business Growth Plan that we're going to be creating together in the Jewellery Business Academy. So, revenue generating activities for the year. In Q1, I've got that I'm going to create an online launch week. So I've said how long it's going to be to showcase my new collection. This is the 12-piece collection that I've been making before it goes onto the website. So this is to my followers on Instagram, social media, because it's not gone on the website yet. My website isn't being developed until next month, but I'm saying, okay, this week I'm going to show you all the pieces that I've been working on. Selling through Instagram, either pieces from the collection or opening the books for commission pieces to be sold through DMs and emails. So when I post these pieces on Instagram, people can say, can I buy that from you? And I will say yes and sell through that platform, perhaps using PayPal, something like that, because the website's not up and running yet. You can sell without a website. It is possible. Lots of people do it. And also saying, opening my books for commission. So someone says, well, I love all these pieces you've made, but actually they're all rings and I want a necklace, for example, but in the same style. Brilliant. That's exactly what the collection is for, is to encourage people to come and order a commission piece. So that is, but I said it's a week long. So I'm going to really put effort in that week to encouraging people to kind of place a commission, to look at the new pieces and to create a buzz around the collection. Q2, I've said I'm going to launch my new website. So this is when the website is live and I'm going to do an offer. Now, I don't always encourage handmade jewelers to do big discounts, things like that, because it can really undervalue the brand, especially with fine jewelry. But I think a small discount can sometimes be helpful, especially at the initial stages of something. So I'm going to launch my new website with a 2-week 5% off offer on all of my pieces bought in the first 2 weeks of the site launching. So I'm saying, this is a limited time, 5% off. Now, 5% is enough that nobody's going to buy it just for the discount. They're going to need to really want to buy it anyway. But if they want to buy it, I'm kind of rewarding them for being my first customers and saying, like, thank you for supporting me. And this is the beginning, and go for it. So it's a win-win situation. Both me and the customer feel really good about it. I'm going to send a personal email. So this is also part of the same launch. I'm going to send a personal email to everyone I know who may be interested, inviting them to look at the new website and place an order if they would like a piece. So this very specific kind of targeted emailing can be really effective, especially for new businesses. Now, most people buy, especially at the beginning, that buy from you will be the people that you know and the people that they know. So your friends, your family, and their networks. So definitely utilize those in a good way and just say, my website's finally live and I'm doing this offer off. Do you know anyone who might be interested? Please help me spread the word. People want to support you and your handmade business. So give them that opportunity by being a little tenacious. I know it can be a bit nerve-wracking sometimes, but sending them that personal email, checking in with them and saying, can you help at all? And if you usually communicate with them through WhatsApp or a different method, use that. It doesn't matter really how you're communicating as long as you're getting the message across that, how are you? How's things been? But also, I would love your help with this. People love helping people. And then it kind of goes through. So Q3, I've said I'm going to do another online launch, highlighting how the pieces and the collections were handmade and who the ideal customer is for them. So it's a similar thing, but I've got a different focus. So the first focus was like, look at these pieces. The second focus was the website's live, 5% off. This focus is how were these pieces made, and really going into the handmade element that was in my vision at the beginning, and kind of really encouraging people to look at that aspect of it. Q4, I'm doing 2 festive in-person events plus an online launch around the Christmas sale season with my new giftable collection. So I've created a little giftable collection for this, ready for Christmas gifting. So that just gives you an idea. And again, I'll put these in the notes in case you want to have a look through them. But that just gives you an idea of an example of how a year's worth of revenue generating activities can come about. Now, of course, every social media post can generate revenue if people decide to buy from you as a result of it. But these are more concerted efforts, usually usually a week to 2 weeks, sometimes a little bit longer, where we put a lot of effort in. And as we go through the Jewellery Business Academy training, we have a whole month looking at launching, looking at revenue generating activities and how we can bring sales into our business, and have a whole kind of structure and program around what to do beforehand, what to do during, what to do at the beginning, at the end, what to do after. So I'm excited to kind of work through that later in the year with anyone who is joining us there. So that brings us to the end of our 5-day challenge. I hope you have really enjoyed it. I hope that you've got a lot out of it for you and your business. And whether you join us for more training or not, I'm excited for what the future holds for you. And I really hope that these dreams come to fruition and you are taking the action to make sure that they do. And to be honest, with all of these goals, with everything that we want in our business and in our life, all we can do is take the action and put the steps in place, let go of the outcome, let go of any anxiety or stress around it as much as we can, and just enjoy the ride, because running a jewelry business is one of the most amazing journeys I've ever been on. It's one of the best elements of my life, is that I get to make things, be creative, work with other people, have connections, and feel like I'm making a real contribution in a positive way to our little planet as well. So thank you guys so much for being here. Good luck. Do come and let me know how you get on with your revenue generating activities and how you found the whole week inside the Jewellers Academy Facebook group, and also with us on social media, on Instagram. And if you have any questions about enrolling on the Jewelry Business Academy, do come and ask. We have started, but there is still time to get in just before we kind of do our cutoff date, which is coming up very soon. And I'm just excited to be able to kind of pass on my skills and knowledge, but also the whole team of jewelers and mentors is there to help you guys grow your jewelry businesses from whatever stage they're at now, whether they're in their infancy or whether you've been doing this for a long time and you're looking for some more growth coaching. There's a lot of that available as well. So best of luck. I'll see a bunch of you inside the Jewelry Business Academy, and for the rest of you, good luck with what 2025 is going to bring for your jewelry business. All right, take care. Bye for now.